Can someone give an objective answer? Is Joe Biden more left than Obama? There isn't an objective answer because there isn't really an objective way to measure. But it's pretty hard to call Biden or Obama far left. Like AOC and Omar are far left. Biden, Obama, Clinton are not. Biden and Obama are both center-left and aligned on most major topics. The things left and right care about most in their platforms has shifted somewhat in the past 20-30 years. So Biden touching on issues that Obama didn't is more a reflection of how the country has changed and what the party priorities are, not as much Biden's ideology. Bill Clinton and Biden tended to vote the same too back in the 90s. Historically, no. But as president, Biden has been more pro-labor than any other president in that time period. He's the only one to have a female VP and to have trans people in his administration. That's all quite progressive. Obama wasn't really very progressive, although the nation was by electing him. But I also think circumstances today have caused everyone to become more progressive, as we've come to acknowledge that the more conservative methods of the past were not working. Obama and Biden have more in common with the average Republican than with actual leftists. The way I describe Biden's presidency thus far is it's like a third Barack Obama term when it comes to domestic policy and a third George W. Bush term when it comes to foreign policy. Barack Obama when it came to domestic policy was somewhere in between a progressive and a neoliberal. And George W. Bush when it came to foreign policy was very firmly a neoconservative, if that helps give you a better idea. Oh God. Ignore these people. The answer is clearly yes. For a variety of reasons. Biden has been able to pursue and pass far more liberal policies and appointments than Obama or Clinton. The Build Back Better bill, which was just 2 votes shy of passing, would have been the most progressive piece of legislation since LBJ's Great Society. Even without that, the Inflation Reduction Act and Infrastructure Bill are the biggest investments in fighting climate change by any nation in human history. The stimulus bill he passed when he first got in included tons of progressive policies like supplemental UBI for anyone with a child. Aside from legislation, his stances and appointments are decidedly more liberal than Obama. For example, pro-union rhetoric and liberal appointments to the NLRB have helped unions have a renaissance, in turn contributing to wages rising faster than at any point in the past 50 years. Then there's the diversity of his cabinet judicial appointments. The first woman and person of color to be vice president. The first openly gay cabinet secretary to be confirmed. The first trans presidential appointee to be confirmed by Congress. The most black women appointed to the courts by any president ever, including the first black woman on the Supreme Court. The list could go on and on. Yes, he's the most liberal president in a lifetime. Despite what chronically online leftists think, this is an objective fact. Bernie and AOC have said as much themselves. Just because he's not as left as them, or what people imagine all of Europe is, he is much more left, at least in practice, than Obama or Clinton. Edit. Gonna go ahead and proactively mute this because I refuse to debate facts with people. In terms of tangible policies, the policies that have passed under Biden can be argued to be more progressive than other presidents in the last decades. However, compared to the median opinion of the times the presidents were in, I think Obama's policies were more left compared to the median opinion than Biden's. But they both were still to the right of what voters wanted. He has passed some of the most progressive or leftist policies of any modern president. His policies have been further left than Obama. Going back 30 years we have Trump, Obama, Bush, Clinton, and Bush Sr. Biden has definitely been more leftist than any of those presidents. Other commenters here are just splitting hairs. Yeah, the USA doesn't have a true left compared to Europe or other countries. But to answer your question, yes, Biden is the most leftist president we've had in the past few decades. Democrats are a center-right party. There is no leftist representation in the U.S. That people refer to Joe Biden as a radical leftist just shows how far to the right American conservatives have drifted. Obama and Biden are both center-right corporatists. Their policy proposals are largely based on policies that Republicans would have happily supported under Reagan or Bush. His agenda contains some left-leaning legislation. He himself is a run-off-the-mill centrist. I think you can say he's had the most center-left-wing agenda since LBJ. People like Bernie have gotten important seats and are being listened to. Clinton and Carter still lives lol are center-right. Obama is quite moderate. On a side note, FDR is another social liberal president. No, they are pretty close to each other. Just right of center. That might technically make them the furthest left since Carter. But only because the Clinton was also center-right. H.W. Bush was right-wing. And the others in that time frame were extreme right-wing Republicans. No, there is no objective quantification of how left someone is. Everyone who gives you an answer weights policies based on their own subjective opinions. Biden is more left than Obama because the Democrats are more left as a party now than in 2008. The United States has never had a leftist president. I'm pretty sure both of them have both arms. The true answer to your question is that none of them are actually truly left. Left, for the most part, doesn't exist in America. The right has pushed so far to the right that today's left would pretty much be considered centrist in almost every other civilized democratic nation. One of the biggest problems in America is that Americans seem to think propaganda is only used in other countries. We have been duped. Every other civilized democratic nation has universal healthcare as one of the obvious red flags. Look at what a lot of Europe has compared to what we get in America. It's shocking and makes us look alarmingly stupid with how much we pay in taxes. There is no left in the United States. Anyone elected or appointed starts at center and works their way right. I would say definitely not. Biden has pretty much been labeled as a hard centrist for like his entire career. He's only considered left now because he was held in comparison to Trump. No, I don't see that at all. Biden is more center if not center-right. The problem is that the right has going so far right and the left has gone so far left that the middle just looks different. No. And Obama was far more center than left. Edit. Downvoting this comment only reinforces your ignorance of U.S. politics and history.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.